That's right. Quantum computing, we hear from our specialists that if a country is not equipped in the next 10 years, they will not have access to the big developments of the world. And when we say that to policymakers or diplomats, it's news almost. So how can we actually make them understand it and make them engage, and this is part of what we're trying to do now, to bring them to the table and be interested. It's such a challenge to bring these different mindsets together.
Well, I think most of the countries in today's world are conscious about a new kind of colonialism. It seems to me that technology is used as a neo-colonialistic behavior. If politically I want to have an influence in Africa, well, I will allow them to get access to my technology. But this has a price.
Yeah.
So I think there will be many, many countries interested. It will be more difficult than afterwards to see which mechanism we have to put in place in order to be able to spread this technology and make it available to everybody. Although, and we have to recognize this, that big part of the financing was done by very few. So that's a big challenge. That's a real challenge.
Making sure that the private sector finds its actually interest in this whole equation as well. And also making sure that the open access is used safely. They're big challenges. Perhaps the last question is, our grandchildren, our children, our parents today listening to this, how is that going to change their life, not today, but in 10 years? What do we hope we will have achieved?
Well, let me say it will be a different life, very clearly. Now, how it will be different will depend a lot on the decisions we are going to take in the next 5 years. What we have laid out in the Breakthrough Radar are different options. So we have said, well, in 5 years, this technology can lead us to this result. In 10 years, perhaps, to a different one. And in 25 years, we are guessing, let's be clear. But what the real outcome will be decided by the decisions we are going to take on those issues that we present in the radar. And for that, we need to have a broad discussion. And the summit that we are inaugurating today has as its objective to be the first step for this open discussion by everybody. Not only by the 900 people who are today here with us in this beginning of this journey, but in the millions of people who have access to our open and freely available digital platform, and where they can, after having consulted the Breakthrough Radar, they should and they can bring in their opinion. So it has to be inclusive, and it has to be worldwide inclusive, not inclusive only for an elite, whether scientific or political elite.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
It was my pleasure.